I'll be taking you through the demo of today. We're going to be talking about VEO3 or 3.1, which is a new video model that Google recently released. And yeah, I'm squeaking too much, so I'm gonna... Oh, okay. I hope I squeak less now. As I said, we're going to be talking about VEO3 or 3.1, and I'm going to take you through with an introductory video.
This is VEO, the video generation model designed for creativity. New enhanced capabilities give you control like never before. Let's take a look. You can use a reference image, a location, a character, object, or a combination. VEO puts them together into a fully formed scene, complete with sound.
Hello, is anybody here?
Great moments don't need to end. You can extend your clips and transform any shot into a full scene. And for ultimate narrative control, define the start and end points of your shot. VEO bridges them with epic transitions. You can also reimagine any shot with astonishing detail, real-world physics, and cinematic outputs. Bring it all to life with audio, using sound effects, ambient noise, and dialogue.
Just gotta listen.
Push creativity to new limits with VEO. Try it today in the Gemini API.
Exactly. Try it today in the Gemini API. As I said, I'll be taking you through. My name is Jonas. Important for me throughout this talk that I'm giving, if you have any questions, ask those questions, please. Make sure that you get the opportunity to raise your questions. What do I do at Xebia? I'm a Google Cloud consultant, so I spend my time working in Google Cloud with and for customers. Now, very quickly, why AI video generation? I don't know if there's many creative profiles amongst you in the crowd. Is there anyone that does a lot of creating video image material for customers or for yourselves or in your organization? No one yet? I say yet because after this, I promise you, you will give it a try. You will give it at least a try, trust me. So traditionally, there's a lot of focus around how big a team should be when you create videos, when you create campaigns, when you create a lot of information. And that causes quite a slow iteration speed because you need to think of a concept. That concept then needs to be communicated out. You need to get one or many companies that come up with offers. And so you need to have a lot of interaction before you really get to something. If you do get to something, you're always bound by some form of creativity. We can't make things that are completely out of this world, but then again, maybe we do want to. So you're always bound in your creativity that you have. Whereas with this, if you can type it, if you can think it, then you can try and create it. As it says, a third reason why you would do this, create videos with AI, is because you have the possibility of creating content at scale. And that basically means that for every type of idea you need to come up with video or image material, you now have a tool that'll easily get you there. And the last thing is democratization. Lowering the barrier. So previously, if I were to work in a company that needs a lot of marketing campaign type material or information like that, or even if it's a simple newsletter that we want to create and have a catching visual there, then I would always need to go to this team, like this ivory tower team that would then, maybe they'd come up with something good, maybe they wouldn't, but it wouldn't be me. It wouldn't be our possibility to do so. So everybody can turn into an individual content creator, and that in itself is an incredible democratization option. So that's AI creation of all kinds of materials. Now, why VEO3 or 3.1? As you might have seen in the intro video that we had, so there's native audio and dialogue. And I cannot stress this enough. it's very difficult for AI models to come up with dialogue that actually matches when a person opens their mouth or tries to open their mouth. Very difficult for them to do. So the fact that this exists and it exists natively, no reprompting or a lot of reprompting, that is a very big win for AI video creation. And therefore, VEO. Sure? How should I respond to this? I know it's also it's also available in other languages out of the box. I know this because you'll see a couple of demos that I've tried to create, but I've also done this in my private environment, and I can say that two languages I already know 100% that work. It's Dutch. Dutch works. Well, I've tried to create videos with myself and my spouse saying, "Oh, you're the best" in Dutch, and so it works. And I've also tried it in Turkish and Italian, and that's because I come from a place in Belgium where there's a lot of migration backgrounds, and so I have quite a lot of friends that talk these languages, but I also have friends that don't talk these languages, so making other people talk these languages is actually how I made it, a bit more appealing to. But it's not really professional, but that's how I know that the other languages also work. So yeah, works out of the box in many languages. So there's a narrative control, something that's pretty interesting, and that's also something that I'll show in short pieces of demo clips that we have. So there's a first and a last frame. So you can try and build a story around the first frame and the last frame, where you start, where do you end, and so then everything in between will basically be a story that is AI generated. So you have kind of got the control of where do I want to begin, where I want to end. There's also the ingredients to video. That's what the lady was in the beginning of the video. So you could basically give it 3 types of input, like picture input, a person, a place, clothes, or anything that you really want. And you can try and combine those together into a story. We'll also show that in a bit. And there's also something called scene extension. For the people, have you ever heard of Google Flow? No, never. Or someone? Okay, I saw a nod, so that's fine. So there's, if you want to, not necessarily on Google Cloud, but you can also purchase separate subscriptions in Google, and one of them is called AI Ultra. In that AI Ultra subscription, there's something called Flow. And Flow is a video creation tool that actually allows you, and it did quite some time already, allows you to extend scenes. Extending scenes means instead of creating clips of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds, you can then use that as an input and extend. You can then make your videos 15 seconds and then 20 seconds and then half a minute. So again, if I think about the thing that I started off with, if you think of ideation, slow iterations, democratization of what is possible with these video tools, moving from 8 seconds to 15 seconds makes a world of difference. A budget difference. Very big. So that's these 3 things are standard available in Google VEO3 3.1. This is a very short comparison, very, very short, of traditional video production compared to VEO 3.1 generation. If you think of the typical, this is average run-of-the-mill, time needed to get a short clip of around 15 seconds done, then if you do traditional video production, you're talking about 4 to 8 weeks. Weeks, full working weeks. That is an immense amount of time. Apart from the time needed, there's also the people needed. So let's say you have those 4 to 8 weeks. You still need to manage 4 to 10 people to actually do the thing you want them to do within those weeks. So it's quite a cumbersome task. You need necessary skills that you hire because you don't all have them. There's the iteration cycle, as I said, it's slow. It's days or weeks to review, to go back, and again, and again, and again. And so all that, let's say you're fine with all this. Then you get the bill. How much is it going to cost me? Well, around maybe $2,000 to $15,000. You go, what? $2,000 to $15,000 for this? If you compare that to VEO and the generation that you can do there, then just based on cost, you have your business case. But even just by managing what you can do and how you can manage these other people that you might need, as you can see here, you don't really need anyone else except for yourself. That's just a business case in itself, and that's the democratization that we talked about a little bit before. This is where the value really shines. Now, all of this is pretty nice, but it is time for demos. I have prepared 3 things for you. I've tried to create a vlog. I'm terrible at this, so it's not really a vlog type thing, but before I went here, I went to the Volkshotel, which is a bit further down the street, and I worked for a couple of hours because obviously I need to come from Belgium. It's 2 to 3 hours driving here, so my mailbox blew up. So I was there for a short while, and actually I prepared the videos that I'm going to show you over there. So on one is a starting frame and an ending frame, and the other one is 3 pictures, and I'll take you through my personal life with the 3 pictures. 3 pictures that together form a story. Just to give you an idea, this can be anything. This could even be a lonely Belgian consultant going to work somewhere and then doing a short presentation. Before I go there, I really, really briefly want to show you where did we come from 2 years ago. In 2023, this was what we were pretty happy about. And the sound is even better. Two years ago, this was state of the art. Everybody was really happy with this. So let's see where it's taking us today. As I said, there's 2 techniques that VEO really introduced that everybody can use at the moment. The first one's called the first and the last frame. You give it a first frame, where do I need to start? You give it a last frame, where do I need to end? And it'll kind of make this story in between. The story is based off a prompt, obviously, prompt that you give yourself. Now, I'm a Google Cloud consultant. I'm pretty bad at writing detailed video prompts for whatever. So, little note on the inside, I had mine generated by Gemini. So I didn't create my own prompt, I had mine generated. But what I asked Gemini to do is exactly here, create a VEO3.1 prompt for a consultant walking into a co-working space and sitting down next to others in the room. The sound should be a busy crowd sound. And then something I picked up online, apparently it's very difficult to include cutscene information. That means you see scene 1, cut, you go to scene 2, cut, you go to scene 3. So I added that. This is a result based off my first picture. This is me, and this is the Volkshotel. You might know the co-working space they have there. So let's take a look. This is the first 8 seconds that was generated from my prompt. You might have seen that my headphones disappeared at one point, so I didn't get time to reiterate time and time again. So my prompt is not perfect yet, but just to give you an idea, with 10 minutes of time, this is the first thing that I created. I did actually create extensions to this, but I did not bring the extensions. And I'll be very frank as well why. For extensions to be made on, because VEO3 is still quite young, for extensions to be made to this clip, it actually switches models. You go to VEO2 as a model, which generates, well, let's say not so good results as VEO3. So I tried it out, and I'll be honest with you as well, it didn't give me the results that I wanted, so I didn't include it in the rest of this demo. Now, what I did do is I tried to test out what had happened if I would give it 3 images to take into consideration always. So that's the ingredients to video type thing. And in this case, for lack of better understanding or imagination, as I said, Google Cloud consultant, not video creator. So I added my French bulldog to the scene. She's called Billy. super dog. So, and almost did the same prompt in Gemini for it to rewrite something that I officially took from a video, which is create a video 3.1 prompt for a consultant walking into a co-working space with their French bulldog. That's it. So, here we go. There we go. So this is what it's created based off a single prompt using the 3 reference images that I gave it. So just to give you an idea, if you use this well, then, and this is, honestly, this is 20 minutes tops of me trying to juggle different types of solutions. But if you give this proper thought, then you actually get pretty good results. And so these pretty good results, I want to quickly, very quickly take you to Vertex AI Studio. So I hope that all of you understand what this is. If not, then I'll quickly tell you what it is and how it works. So this is a project on Google Cloud. And in that project on Google Cloud, I'm going to Vertex AI. On the top left-hand side, you'll see it. In Vertex AI, you have the AI Studio. And in AI Studio, you have many different things that you can generate. Chat-type messages, images, videos, music, speech. You can generate speech. And you can live interact, kind of like you do sharing your the environment you see with your camera on your laptop. So from there, we could basically do anything. So if I want to, I can take a picture of all of you, click, put it in here, and say you're an absolutely super enthusiastic crowd that wants to know more about video creation. And then see what it comes up with. I'm not gonna, so don't worry. But the idea is there. If you can take a picture of something, you can use it in a creative, scenario that you have. What I'm more interested in giving you a little preview about is some of the settings that are on the right-hand side. Some of the information that you can find, that you can tweak with, that you can play with. So there's different types of models. There's VEO3.1. You have a normal preview and a fast preview. The difference between the two is the fast one creates videos faster. Tricky, right? So then you have previous models, VEO3 and VEO3 Fast. Again, almost does the same thing, apart from you won't have the option to do the first and the last scene, or the 3 ingredients to make your video. And then, as I said, there's also other ones, VEO2 and 2 Preview. So if you do extensions to your videos, it actually switches from the default 3 and 3.1 to VEO2. And that's where I found it didn't give me the results that I wanted, so therefore I didn't do the extension here. So you can choose your model right there. Aspect ratios, I don't know if you know, but apparently that's a big thing. If you want to switch aspect ratios, apparently for AI video creation, very difficult to do. So you can switch from 16:9 to 9:16 in terms of aspect ratio to get your result you want. Number of videos that you want to have generated from 1 to 4, and the video length. One additional thing is you have 1080p, higher resolution videos that you can generate. The longer you make a video, the more difficult it becomes to generate it in 1080p. Just for you. Maybe if we're talking about this in a year, we'll be doing 4K videos all the time. At the moment, we're not there yet. Who here does not use Google Cloud at the moment? Excellent, all of you. Yeah, but after this you will, right? Okay, good. So what I wanted to say was, if you create longer videos, you can have a Google Cloud Storage bucket linked to this where it'll save all your video information, easy for you to use afterwards. You can generate audio, and you could even, and this is where it becomes interesting, if you add the 3 pictures that I said before, if you add those here, then you'll have these ingredients that it always takes into consideration. That's actually done here. So if you would click add, as I said, you could do the videos in here, or sorry, the pictures, and that's exactly what I did. So these 3. So that's the 3 ingredients that you can then add. If you don't want to use the 3 ingredients to create your video, but do a video that has a first frame and a last frame, then you need to take these out and you just upload them here. If you upload them here, so if I take this one as the first one, then it'll immediately say right next to it, add an ending frame. So then you have a beginning frame and an ending frame. Just very easy things to start using, right? In addition, you have some safety measures. You want this for adults or all audiences or junior audiences, and that will be taken into account with the prompt that you write to come up with the video that you want. But so playing around with those options, make sure that you get the video output that you want. That is in very short how this works. What I would say is this is obviously the web interface. You can play around with this all the time. You can also do this via API. The Gemini API allows you to create these videos too. I have not done this myself yet, but I'm going to after this session because I saw the results that it generated before, definitely in my personal space. If you would like to, I'll show you the results as well after this. But I'd say go to your project of choice. Give this a go to Vertex AI Studio, play around with it, because just playing around with it and having your spouse or your partner say things that you don't really expect them to say, that's enough. That already helps you get through boring days itself. This was everything that I had to say for now. Thank you very much for your time. If you have questions, ask them, please.